numbers. So perfect square numbers are like 1 times 1 is 1, or the square root of 1 is 1. So 1's a perfect square number, okay? The next one would be 2 times 2 is 4. So the square root of 4 is 2, so 4 is a perfect square number, because we can take the square root and we get a nice number. So the next one would be 3 times 3, which is 9. So 9 would be the next perfect square number, because we can take the square root of 9 and it's 3. And then we've got 4 times 4, which is 16. And then we've got what? 25, okay. And then we've got what? 36. And then we've got what? 41. Good. And then we've got
64.
Yeah, okay. And then we've got 81 would be 9 times 9, okay. And then good. 10 times 10?
121.
Nice. 121.
144.
All right. 144. We know 12 times 12. Anybody know 13 times 13? Nice. 169. Anybody know 14 times 14?
Oh.
180.
196.
196. Okay. And then 15 times 15 is 225. We probably won't even go that high, but just in case we need them, we'll put them up here, okay? So those are the perfect square numbers. So now we're going to estimate. So between which two consecutive integers is the square root of 30? Well, we know that the square root of 25 is 5. And we know that the square root of 36 is 6. So if we were to do the square root of 30 on our calculator, it would be like 5 point something. It would be a decimal, right? But this says between which two consecutive integers are the following roots found. So it's in between the square root of 25 and it's in between the square root of 36. So that means it has to be in between 5 and 6. So the way we write it is 5 is less than the square root of 30, which is less than 6. So that says that the square root of 30 is bigger than 5, but less than 6. Okay? So we always write our symbols going this way. All right? Now we've got the square root of 80. So the square root of 80 is really close to which perfect square number? 81. Yeah, real close to 81, which means our decimal would be real close to 9, be like 8 something, right? 8 point, maybe 8, 8.9, I don't know. And then the one below that, so 9 squared is 81. What is 8 squared? 66. Right, so it has to be in between 8 squared and 9 squared, so 64 and 81. So the square root of 80 is in between 8 and 9. Makes sense? And if you were to do it on your calculator, which you shouldn't, because you got to start memorizing these, right? But if you were, you would get 8 point something, and you'd be able to know it's in between 8 and 9, right? Okay, now we've got the square root of 7. So the square root of 7 is really close to what perfect square number?
9.
Okay, it's close to 9, yeah, good, the square root of 9. But it's less than the square root of 9. So the next one below 9 is 4. So it has to be in between the square root of 4 and the square root of 9, which means it's in between 2 and 3. Okay, so if you were to do square root of 7 on a calculator, it would be 2 point something. Okay. And 147. So hopefully 147 you recognize that's really close to
149.
144. So we've got the square root of 144, which is 12. And it's a little bit bigger, right? So even if you don't know the next one, well, you know that it is bigger than 12. So it's in between 12 and 13. Okay? Okay, now you have to memorize the perfect cube numbers. So let's write down the perfect cubed numbers. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So there's a perfect cube number. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So there's a perfect cube number. 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. So there's a perfect cube number. 4 times 4 times 4 is 64. Hopefully you're memorizing these. 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. Okay, anybody know 6 times 6 times 6?
A
A
number.
186. And Okay. If you don't know, we know that 6 times 6 is 36, and then you can times by 6. So 6 times 6 is 36. Carry the 3, 18 plus 3, so we get 216. All right, guys. Okay, 7 cubed. 7 times 7 times 7, right? If you don't know, 49 times 7.
320.
No.
363.
No.
No, wait, no. Oh,
There we go.
393.
343. Okay, try to memorize up to 7. Okay, if you memorize up to 7, you're probably good. But we have done 8 in the book. It's been in the book a few times. Anybody done 8 times 8 times 8 before, or remember it? Okay.
512.
512. 512. All right. So now let's try some real problems. So we have the cube root of 30. Okay. So the cube root of 30. So 30 is in between these two numbers right here. Or if you know that it's really close to the perfect cube number 27. So I want you to at least write 1 down. I know it's really close to the cube root of 27. 30 is bigger than 27, so it's going to have to be bigger than 3. So my answer is going to be between 3 and 4. Then we've got the cube root of 9. So 9 is really close to what perfect cube number? 8. Okay, 8 is a perfect cube. So if we know the cube root of 8, then 9 is a little bit bigger. So I can just say it's in between 2 and 3. So at least write one of them down if you don't write both. And you can always write 2, but at least write 1 up. Okay, now I have the cube root of 100. So you can write the one that's bigger or the one that's smaller. I don't care. Which one do you guys know? What pops into your head when you hear 100? 125 pops into my head too. So the cube root of 125, what's the one below it? It is the cube root of 64. Because 5 cubed is 125, but 4 cubed is 64. So this one has to be in between 4 and 5. Right? Then we've got the cube root of 300. So you might need your notes for this, or you might have to multiply some of them out, right? What's 6 cubed again?
343.
That's 7 cubed. What's 6 cubed?
260.
Just one if you know it. 216. 7 cubed is 343. So 343 would be bigger than this, right? If we know 343 is 7, and it's going to be less than that. So it has to be between 6 and 7. Any questions?